I got one person in the chat. What's going on? What is going on? How was your day today? Man, these allergies are no joke. Trying to get over it, but it's for real. Let's see here. Hey, we got three people. What's going on, guys? Hopefully you're having a good day. If you're wrapping up the day or already finished. Let's see here. Chris James, what's going on, man? Glad to see you. Glad to see you, Brian. Hey, what's going on, man? You guys came over from the channel. Appreciate you. Thanks for joining me here. Yeah, we're hopefully going to talk a little dumpster action here today. Um, yeah, should be good. So we'll see if anybody else joins, and if nothing else, I'll just kind of talk through some things for me and my business right now. Some changes that I've made, and at some point I'll be putting out another video here soon. Actually, probably the next video after the one I'm going to post in a couple days, about just kind of my business model as things are changing, because being a one man show, just having the one roll off truck, and doing 1 day rentals, that's going to have to kind of pivot. So, yeah, we can definitely chat more about that and talk through some things. Let's see, Matt. Hey, man. Hey, thanks for hopping on here. Congrats on the new cans. Thanks, man. I really do appreciate it. Really exciting. Really, man, feels like it's long time coming finally to get things going, and to get some more cans rolling. So pretty exciting. Yeah, just really grateful. And now next step, just getting all of these cans uh put vinyl put on them. I'm still debating if I want to go stickers or just doing the vinyl stuff. um I'm leaning more towards a vinyl type of deal, but should be good. We got Chris James, update on the roll off truck. Yeah. So Chris, so on my other channel that's more geared towards truck stuff, in general, I basically had a situation on my roll off truck where the coolant level was low, in combination with it being at a temperature the engine didn't want to go above. And so basically, I just added the coolant to that reservoir. And I did already post that video on the other channel, but essentially, zero issues since then. Just making sure the reservoir was capped off, um, well, to the full line, and then I've had no issues since. So pretty interesting to see an older truck, an older roll off truck that has a significant, in my opinion, very aggressive safety option. Newer trucks, in my Ram, I've gone 230, 240, 250 before, when my thermostat was completely closed, and that basically just shut the whole. I mean, it was beeping at me, but basically for me to have this older truck that's my roll off truck, to just literally kill the engine to protect it from even getting above 200 degrees. It was just pretty shocking to me. So vinyl should last longer. Yeah, and that's the thing. So on my dump trailers, I put just regular vinyl on. I think it was like the medium grade of vinyl, on the dumpster cans. I'm sorry, the dump trailers. And my oldest one that I still have, my 15 cubic yard dump trailer, no issues. No issues at all. Still clean. Like, there's just no issues with that. So I am inching more towards the vinyl. Ultimately, I've got 6 dumpster cans to put together, and so I may, on this channel, maybe put a few pictures up of some ideas of the design that I'm going to do as far as putting vinyl on. I know the phone number is going to be the biggest thing. That's what I want to be the biggest. and then possibly the website, or it just saying, the name of the business, Helper Dumpster Rentals, something similar to that. That's what I'm thinking. So, yeah, that's on the agenda going forward. Getting the actual cans, set together. So, Brian, GM trucks are very self-protective. Will shut themselves down with most any damaging issues. Yeah, well, I'm super grateful for it because that was not what I experienced, or still, experience with the Ram. So really, really thankful for that. Um, yeah, really cool stuff. So, yeah. Um, so those of you, so we got like 9 people in here. That's pretty cool. Um, this live stream right now, if you're watching, if you're driving home or whatever, really just wanted to kind of pop in and check in with you. There are a few things I do want to have live streams going forward about on this channel. In general, I do want to have a little bit more of a consistency, doing live streams, having back and forth conversations with people, maybe even invite other people on to this channel talking about, our businesses with dumpsters. But I wanted to just kind of check in and share the information if you guys are curious how things are going. If you want to know what I'm doing with different things, different parts of the business. Um, as always, I'm an open book. I'll share the good, bad, the ugly, everything in between, and just wanted to pop in and chat through some stuff. So if anybody has any questions or anything, please feel free. Let me know. But if not, I'm probably going to just kind of ping pong around a few different things that are going on currently right now. Like I said, I've got the 6 cans to get the vinyl done, so that's going to be, I mean, well over a grand, probably over 2 grand, to get that all put together, depending on exactly what direction I go. I am, as far as the business goes, I am in the process trying to sell my backup pickup truck, which was my Ford 7.3 that I've used for some time now, well over a year, I believe. Um, I'm shifting away from dump trailers, going more towards the roll off containers. So I'm no longer really in need of these other pickup trucks. So I'm in the process of trying to sell that. Um, in my area, at least around me, I can't find a really decent comparable truck. So I'm just kind of shooting in the dark as far as my price goes on this truck that I have put some money into. But it is still a very old truck. So that's one thing. It's at this point it's becoming more of a hassle just to keep it and have the insurance on it and to mess with it. And I never thought I'd get to that point where a truck would just be annoying to have, but it's becoming annoying to have. As far as just dealing with that. So I'll probably continue lowering the price every once in a while here or there, a little bit to see where the market is, what I should be doing with that truck, but ultimately getting out from underneath that and at least freeing up an extra space here at the house, so I don't have those issues with that truck. Also, with selling that truck, and then now that if you've recently just saw the video I put out just earlier today, I got new dumpster cans. I've had them for just a little bit, literally a matter of days, a week or two, and just trying to get everything settled on all those things. Um, I had to get if you saw the video, I had to get a third parking spot because my two 40-foot long by 12 feet wide storage bays, I guess, were not long enough to to take on 220s and 215s. So 4 new dumpsters added to the party, and two is not going to get it done. I've got to have three. So that's definitely something that I've been trying to navigate as well for that. And so, yeah, just simply uh, getting that third spot there taken care of. And then also kind of deciding, do I want to, I mean, this is just logistical stuff, but do I want to have, tens in one row, 15s, and then 20s? Do I want to mix and match simply due to my two tens are going to be barely taking up half of the storage bay? Do I want to mix things up and have different things so that they're all more level? That's just a small little thing, but yeah, if you're just joining me here, we got 13 people here. If you would not mind, hit the like button on here. Maybe more people can join us. If you have any questions about my dumpster rental business, please let me know. If you want to know any numbers, any information at all I can do, just ask away in the chat, and I will spill the beans. I do know. I'll just hit some general stuff here. Let's see. Um, so this year, let's see. So January was about as flat as the previous year was for me. And then each month since then, so February, March, April, May, and then we're just now into June here, of course. Um, so basically February, yeah. So 4 months in a row, I have doubled my numbers from last year. So January being very cold in the Midwest and ridiculous, and every other day is a crazy different temperature. Basically, uh, the last 4 months, I have doubled or more than doubled um, the actual gross revenue as well as the total rentals per month. So that's exciting. That's fun. That's cool. All that jazz. And yet, trying to see how adding these four new cans to the mix is going to play out. I knew going into my 2 videos ago, talking through kind of planning out my year, talking through these things. Oh, hey, American AF, what's going on? Yo, yo, yo. Big congrats on the new cans. Glad you got the whole 15s, 20s figured out. Oh, man. Yes, sir. Yeah. Got two 20s ordered, and then got some 15s after that, and it's a good time. So uh man, yeah, definitely had a interesting opportunity to be able to get extra 15s when I originally had ordered 20s. So pretty good stuff about that. But yeah, thanks for hopping on here, man. Hopefully you're doing well down there. And I saw your picture from Facebook earlier. Were you down, where today? Or I think that was today. But yeah, good to have you here. Again, anybody who's in the chat here, thank you for joining. If you have any questions, let me know. But yeah, so far, this year I've doubled my numbers from last year every month besides January. As far as June goes, I it's gonna be it's good. I don't know. I don't know. It may be close. Just depends. But looking at these numbers and being able to see, okay, I now for sure, I was not anticipating getting four total dumpsters, but just two. So with the extra two cans, it was going to be close, but I knew it was possible to be able to pull off the my target for the year. Again, 2 videos ago, I put out there just to the world and just in general here, my gross number that I'm shooting for this year is 150. It's just the top line. I'm not taking that home. I'm not blabbering about anything else. That's what I'm shooting for as a target, and then following that through all the way down to the daily, to the weekly type of a goal. And so, for that to happen, I knew I had to have 220s to make that work. And now that I've got 220s and two extra 15s, um, it's it's absolutely possible. It's just a matter of, am I able to pour enough gas on the business to be able to walk this out, to be able to make this happen. So Yeah, that's definitely the target today or for this year. More than reasonable for it to work, for it to happen. However, this ultimately came with, um, let's see, losing your good friends down at DRS. Hey, awesome, awesome, awesome. Yeah, today I was just kind of messing with my website a little bit, on the, let's see, through the web editor, and then kind of looking through the being able to, let's see here, being able to test different, which I think is really really cool. I'm testing right now. I'm testing my website. If you were to go to my website right now, there's a few little kinks I think need to be adjusted, but I'm testing my homepage on my website right now with two different pictures, and trying to have the first thing that's on the website with this new model or whatever, as with basically having a feature dumpster. So my most popular dumpster, which is my 15s at this point, that's going to be, featured, I think, um, as far as directing people towards those. So, anyways, that's the most common, household dumpster, that I put out there. So, 15s are my new featured, dumpster on the homepage, and then of course they can go and see the rest of all my other cans, and then, um, the dump trailers as well. But yeah, with these changes, each time we make a decision to change something in our business, we raise our per mile rate, outside of our radius or something like that. Um, at least for me, I don't know about you, but for myself, it can be challenging to, I guess, allow myself to pull the trigger on these things. When you're raising your prices, at least I have these thoughts in my head of, oh no, these people are gonna no longer use me. I'm raising my prices, so all these just lies ultimately, that run through my head, and then it inevitably happens at some point after you make that change. You get your first customer that doesn't bat an eye, that doesn't ask any questions, that just says, "Take my money." And you've raised your prices and you've changed things up, and it's not a big deal at all. And then it continues more and more, and you're just going like, "Why was I so worried about that?" Like, that goes with anything in life. We make big changes or something, and you're just nervous. You don't know what the future holds. You just don't. And so fear can paralyze us or hit pause, momentarily. And so for me, I've recently changed how I'm doing things because of these extra cans and just my radius and everything on my business. I've had to make a pivot. And so changing minimum day rate or whatever, not rate, um for my 15s and my 20s, and I'm still debating on a few other things, but raising my minimum to a 2-day rental. So the larger size cans, requiring that to be longer than just 1 day, because simply as a one-man show, I cannot keep up with now potentially 9 dumpsters, 6 cans, 3 dump trailers. My regular, I see a question here. Do you do an air mile radius? How much per mile past that radius? Great questions. Thank you for asking. So my normal pricing includes 15 miles, not air miles, but 15 miles from my home address, which is 2 miles away from where my storage place is and my transfer station. Um, so 15 miles away is included in the price. After that, my previous, until literally just last night, my previous, uh, pay rate per mile, my actual, dollar per mile, was $3 per mile, just the one way. So divide that in half, $1.50, per trip, basically. Um, so really 75 cents there, 75 cents back, and then to go pick up the can, 75 cents, and then 75 cents. So yeah, $3 just, for the one way charged. And talking with a few other people, some other friends, talking through this, and I do know in my area there's other companies charging more. And to be honest, $3 a mile gets the job done for me. With my fuel economy, my wear and tear, I believe $3 is still more than enough. Um, but looking at the market, there are companies charging 4, 5, I believe $6, even here after the included radius. So what I have basically told customers is I'm willing to go just about anywhere to make this happen for you. Due to me being a smaller operation, me not having, normally my last customer, because they might be the furthest away. My last customer, how I plan things out, because of the distance coming back home, I choose them to be my last person so that I'm not wasting anybody else's time on the way back home. Basically, all the shorter trips are earlier in the morning, and then later are my longer ones, so that their their needs have been met earlier, and no other customers are waiting on after the return trip. So, all that to say, I've gone an hour, hour and a half away. I think I've gone like 2 hours away for um a an arborist, I think that's what they're called, cutting down trees. That was like a whole live loading day event, multiple live load day events in the past when I had much smaller of an operation going on. But um, to go from $3 to $4 is where I'm at now. So $4 one way charged, per mile after the first 15, and really no limits on how far I'm willing to go, because I'd rather not cut out my options, because I don't have a million people near me in Lafayette, in my one town, to be able to make everything work. So I'm getting to the point where I have more and more just local customers, but I still occasionally have to go further out to hit these different places. So that is currently where I'm at with my radius. Um, uh, More than an hour away, I think it's a little too much. And the truth is, if they can't find somebody that's closer to them an hour away, either there's just a black hole of a place in that market where there's just nobody, and they're so desperate they'll call me, and it's worth it for them to pay some crazy fuel. Just today, I had a call from uh, a guy who's used me multiple times. It's a guy who basically buys houses by paying off the taxes, waits a year, gets the title, cleans them up, and then sells them. Whatever you call that, he does that all over Indiana and in a lot of the counties right near me. So I've done multiple loads to multiple places, and this place was, I believe, 73 miles away. So basically 73 miles on DRS. I see that question. Does DRS automate that charge if the customer orders online? Yes, they do. So in because I have on DRS 15 miles is included. The second they go to 16 miles, they get now charged $4 per mile. So I plugged in the address, so billing information, dumpster placement information, I hit continue, and then it spits out the total number for checkout. It was 73 miles away. So 15 of that is not charged to the customer, but then the rest is. And now it's at $4 a mile. So I believe it was the 17-yard, which they wanted a dump trailer. So 17-yard dump trailer, $300 for one day, including 2 tons, including 15 miles of a radius, and then it automatically charged them the difference for the miles at $4 a mile. So it ended up being $232 for the difference in the mileage. 73 minus 15, spitting that out times four. That's what it was. So he ended up finally found somebody closer. It's like an hour and 15 minutes away. It's one of those places there's not a really good way to get there. So I mean I wanted the job, just get the job, but I was like, I'm not really brokenhearted having to do two trips. But they were going to pay 230 something dollars for fuel, just for fuel, which is insane to me. But he was about to do it. He did find somebody finally, I guess, who called him back, more local, that ended up pulling the trigger, and they got it for that a lower price. I don't blame him for doing that. But that's basically DRS does do that. Love how everything's streamlined with DRS. So no issues there. I can change, and I believe you can also do with DRS. You can have different radiuses. So your first 15 are included. Your first five are included if you're in a big city or something. You know, your first 15 are included, and then 15 to 20 you can have like ranges. And I believe you just say, oh, it's $20, it's $25, whatever it is, and then kind of scoping out to bigger and bigger places. So I believe you can do that as well on DRS. That's not how I'm doing it. I'm basically prorating it at the mileage and not doing a radius zone, I guess. But I believe you can do that. So yeah. Um, let's see here. That was my next thought. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You can definitely do that. I believe so. Yeah, the radius, the. I think those are the only two ways of doing it. Um, but yeah, that's just the way I chose to do it. I'm not going to say anybody's doing it wrong if if you choose to do it a different way, or maybe you just altogether you just say you just before you even give them a price, you just get their address, so you give them one number and they don't even see any differences in the invoice or whatever you tell them over the phone. That's up to everybody's choice on that. But yeah, this is just how I did it, and I've had no issues. And to be honest, over the phone, especially somebody calling and chatting through this stuff, I'll get their address finally, and we'll walk through it, and I'll say, okay, well, just so you know, there is a fuel surcharge to get out there. It is further away from our normal radius. We're willing to come to you, and I try to present it in a way where, like, because it is true. There are bigger, of course, bigger companies that are just unwilling to go to the further out little nobody little towns with one stop sign or less. They just got yield signs or something. You know, that bigger companies aren't willing to go out to. And so I'm willing to do it, but you're going to pay. And so how I'll kind of present it to them is that is outside of our normal radius. However, I'm still willing to come to you. We just got to take care of this fuel. And when I present it that way, I mean, it's almost like a relief. Like, oh man, okay, wow. They might not have been willing to, but he is. And I know I'm one of the few to be able to make that happen. And just depending on the situation, some people are like, oh, thank God. Like, I got to have a dumpster. And everybody else has said, no, we're too far out. It would be way too much money. And okay, I can still be profitable and make this work for you. And just adding on that extra fuel. And when people see that you are going above and beyond, like, you don't have to go crazy far out. But yeah, I think that's a thing that those people who are further out, they see how desperate they are, and they're just grateful for somebody to say yes, because it's only a matter of time when they start calling around. They're like, is anybody willing to come at all? Like, like they've been told no. Man. If anybody else has any other questions or anything else I can talk through with you, let's see, pull this up here. Here we go. So May, I am going to be putting out a video about this here. And again, anything I share on this channel, it's first of all the truth about what I'm doing, how I'm doing stuff. Um, but it's, I mean, to document my journey, and just see what's going on, how things have happened. But ultimately, to share, it's not 0 to 100 cans in 5 seconds starting from scratch. I'm sure there are a few people out there who have done that, and that's awesome for them. But me getting into this business, not really knowing much of anything, and now it's been over 2 years, and we're starting to get things really streamlined and rolling, in my opinion. And so, from that, being able to see the progress, see breaking new barriers, hopefully month after month. You'd love to always just only be going up, right? That's not how it always is, however, of course. But in my business, the last several months, like I said, I've been doubling my numbers from last year. My previous, and I've shared this in other live streams before, I believe, but last year my highest number of rentals um, in the business was 38 rentals. That was in October. So that was my highest ever. I came close to that in March with 37 rentals. This year, in April, I beat that at 45 dumpsters. In April, again, that was without these other 4 cans. So the timeline for me, I started out with one dump trailer for like the first 6 months. Got the second dump trailer. Excuse me. Um, my buddy allowed me to use his one dump trailer, so I had 3 after the first full year. And then I wasn't able to actually use my roll off truck with my 2 10-yard cans really until I believe it was um, September of last year. So, in closing out my second year, I had 3, then I jumped to 5 because I had the 2 10-yard cans. So 3 dump trailers, 2 dumpster cans. And then from those 5 to now 4 more, I did sell the one dump trailer, and my buddy has since, I believe he's going to be getting um, another dump trailer himself. But as of right now, my 6 cans, my one dump trailer left, and then my buddy's 2. He may or may not be getting. I don't know. I need to ask him actually, but there's no pressure on my end about him buying another one. But essentially, we're this. I haven't had the opportunity. I've been booked up completely before on many weekends, but now that I have all these other cans, the potential is at least there to really just be rolling and more. So of course, so like I said, in April, I had 45, breaking that record without these 4 more cans, and then in May, um, the highest I've ever had, blowing away the 45, was 66 dumpsters in the month. Now, May and June for me included 30, what was it, 36 dumpsters for concrete. So there was days where I was doing 4, 5, 6 a day. For that, it was about a week and a half, maybe a full week if you combined everything together. But um, I did a lot of loads, a lot of short concrete loads that were, no dump fees of any kind. But 66 dumpsters in um, May. And as of right now in June, I'm at 12 for this month. So yeah, that's been my most recent growth in the last couple months. This is where I'm at with my cans, selling one pickup truck. I'm actually, the truth is, and I don't mean to talk your head off here, but when we look at our business and we look at the extra stuff that we're not using, or the money that we're flushing down the drain, or it could be considered you're flushing down the drain. As of right now, and in my mind, it's just like, how did we get to this point? It's just craziness. But I have three pickup trucks right now, and then one roll off truck. You can slaughter me in the comments if you'd like to. It seems a little ridiculous. I've already been trying to sell one of the pickup trucks. I now would then have two pickup trucks, one of my own dump trailers, two others of my buddies. The new truck that I recently got a month or so ago, it's not operational yet. The transmission, got it for an incredible low deal. It's going to be my I'm going to wrap the truck. It's going to be my show truck, whatever you want to say, to where that's the truck I drive around town. That's my advertising piece. That's the grocery getter, I guess, kind of a deal. Where I'm trying to leverage that truck to point people to the business, keep pointing them to the business, doing that. But then my other truck, the truck that has got me through RV transport, the truck that has gotten me through all these dump trailers from day one, it's still alive. It has 707,000 miles on it. Some steering issues, a couple different parts that are smaller need to be replaced. No other problems. No rust. I mean, a little bit of rust. Nothing crazy at all. And yet, I'm going to the dumpster cans, but yet I'm still playing with these pickup trucks. I know I need one, but the truth is, that what's the likelihood of me being able to, if my one truck that's the show truck, it goes down, I can't deliver a dump trailer with that truck. What's the likelihood of me being able to call up several of my buddies and asking, hey, can I borrow your pickup truck? Do you have a 2 5/16 ball? I just need to deliver a dump trailer today. That's a whole lot easier than, hey, can I borrow your roll off truck that fits my rails and it's all good to go? Like, that's a little bit of a different conversation. Um, it's a much different conversation. So I've found myself in a lopsided situation. I see that two trucks to sell ASAP and get more cans. That's basically exactly where I'm at, what I'm thinking. I don't need three pickup trucks. I don't need to be paying this stupid insurance for these trucks. And it's not a part of what I'm trying to do. They don't fit into my business plan. I'm very somewhat nostalgic about certain things that when I've gone through hard times. I have been through so many crazy situations with that 707,000 mile pickup truck. For the longest time, I've said I want to go to 1,000,000 miles in that truck. I bought it with 79,000 miles, and I've put every single mile on it since then. I've been to every state besides Washington State in that pickup truck in the lower 48. I, I've just about done it all, gotten the t-shirt, gotten the whatever. However, as emotionally connected as I am to that stupid truck that I've slept in, that I'm sure I have bled in, and I'm sure I've vomited in at some point, it's time to let things go. And it doesn't fit into my business plan anymore. It served its purpose. I have a newer, better, higher quality truck that's going to be doing even more than that truck could possibly do for me in the future. and it's time to cut ties. So you are absolutely right. Selling two trucks, that's going to be a little hairy because I did, um, due to the high value of these used trucks, I did consolidate some other higher loans into the equity of that older truck. So that's going to be a little hairy to mess with. However, I saved a ton of money doing that. Um, the truck was paid off. The actual debt on that truck was paid off a long time ago. I've just leveraged it multiple times since then. But Paula C, hey, what's going on? Hi, newbie here from Texas. Just starting new dumpster rental business. Awesome, cool. Hey, that is great to hear. Man, if there's anything I've learned, being on YouTube and learning from YouTube University. Ask as many questions if you're just starting out. Make sure you're in the Facebook groups. Make sure you're following and just watching other people. Ask different questions in the search bar in those Facebook groups. Um, I'm sure by now there's enough videos from all the different creators out there here on YouTube as well, that have probably made at least one, if not multiple, videos on any questions you might have. Whether you're considering getting into the dumpster business by using a dump trailer or multiple dump trailers, like what I did when I first started, or if you're really trying to go after it with maybe a hook lift or a cable truck with some cans. That's of course definitely an option as well. Um, but it's you're really reaching by doing that if you haven't started a business before or don't know as much. So just be cautious, take your time. You don't have to go full send, from day one. But the more information you can get, the better. And ultimately, when you do have your questions answered, take action when you can. There's enough people out there who do a lot of talking and then don't do a whole lot of walking, and you're not going to go anywhere if that's the case. So every decision in our lives are it's a risk. Your inaction is a risk. Your action is a risk. Whatever you do or don't do is a risk in life. And so for you and I to step out in the deep end, to shoot our shot, to start a business, to get the word out there, to serve customers, to provide that value, for us to ultimately be able to serve our communities and really make a difference. Um, Man, it's it's a tall task. It certainly is. Paul, yes, sir. I've been watching several. I've gotten a lot of good advice. Awesome, awesome. Yeah. And the truth is, and this is, another thing that I thought a lot more about. There's definitely a lot of people on the internet, of course, who they talk a lot about what they do, and they believe what they do is the best thing out there. And the truth is, it very well might be the best thing for them in their area, for their customers, with their budget, with their schedule, with their employees, with their cash flow, with whatever all that is. And they can be very excited and passionate about what they're doing, how they're doing it, all this stuff. That's great. However, that doesn't necessarily mean it's right for you. And so, trying to take somebody else's, I don't know, uh, an apple, a piece of an apple pie, and trying to smash it into your pumpkin pie. I'm getting weird with these analogies here, but it's not going to fit. It's not going to look right, and it may not be the best thing for you. I guess I'm hungry. I'm talking about food. But absolutely, you can get good information from other people, get certainly different ideas. And the truth is, if things don't work out, if things don't go the way you need them to go, like for myself, I'm trying to. I'm still, like I said, I'm still willing to go out to like a further location for a customer, but they do need to pay me more and more for the fuel surcharge. Like I was kind of talking earlier in the live stream, I'm willing to go out and have this a part of my business plan, serving a larger radius. However, um, it really needs to be worth my while to do that. Going from 1 day rentals and shifting more towards 2 day rentals, because I have now so many, enough for me, enough cans where I'm juggling a lot of different things. With 1 day rentals being dropped off in the mornings, how I have it for my business, that might not be the best for you. And maybe you try this and it works. Cool. Maybe it doesn't for somebody. I live in a population of, well, including college students, when school is in session. I believe it's like 150, 160 altogether, 100,000. When school's not in session, I think it's like cut down to like 40. Um, I'm sorry, it's cut down by 40,000. So like 110 ish, 120 ish left over. So for me in my area, this happens to work. So yeah, if I can be of any help to you, shoot any questions you got at me. I'll share my experience, but I'm never going to be that dude who's like, you need to do this because this is the only way how it works. Um, I think that's just a bunch of garbage. So, no pun intended in this business, but yeah, it's just part of the process. Thank you, Dino. Great advice. I appreciate it. Absolutely. Yeah, glad to help. Yeah, if you guys, I can keep talking for probably hours. If anybody else has any questions, if you want to hit me with some hard question or anything you got going on, I'm willing to answer and share any number, any information you want to know. Um, for me, for my business, I'm always trying to like innovate or have just throwing more options out there, putting everything on the table and really evaluating everything, pulling things apart, looking at how do I do this process? Is this the most efficient way to do this? How do I navigate through this and make this work for me in my situation? And so doing that is, I mean, you can do that for your website. You could do that with how you handle people on the phone. You could handle, I mean, just a number of different things. Your different your payment processing, situation like that. How you advertise, all these things, looking at different ideas, different options out there. And so I'm generally trying to always do that, even though the truth is I'm not Mr. Know It All, and so I'm still willing to look at different things and go, man, I don't even know what I would do differently, but I'm willing to explore and just poke around and see how do other people advertise. How do other people do this or that? What's some way of doing business in some area that's just so streamlined the customer just kind of floats through. I mean, it's just so smooth. Um, I'll, I think I'll also mention this. This is something that it's kind of top of mind for me right now, um, for a couple different reasons, but something that I see in the Facebook groups often, and it's kind of funny to a certain degree, but there are people in the Facebook groups for dumpster rental business owners who will post their business and offer their services to a group that are other dumpster rental business owners all around the country. And so that's a little humorous because maybe they don't know what they're doing, or they don't understand that this is not for customers. This is other business owners. Nobody needs your dumpsters because they already have dumpsters. There's that side of it that's kind of funny to me. However, um, what I see on people's advertisements, what I see when they put stuff out there, is that they talk about the size of the dumpster, and I'm guilty of this 100% as well. So if you were to go to my Facebook page, you would see it even probably even more recently. This is a hard thing to get over, and I think this is something that will this really could impact your business by like a lot of customers, a lot of business. Um, the idea that what you're selling is not a dumpster can. You may show up with a dumpster can. You may pick up a dumpster can that's full of their stuff. However, what we're selling, our service that we are providing is the opportunity not to have a large metal can sitting in their driveway or on a work site or whatever, but it's actually the ability to get rid of what they have, the stuff that they don't want. I mean, this is kind of elementary in so that it kind of goes over our heads sometimes, including my own 100%. But when we talk about, oh, here's my 15 yard, here's my 20 yard, I'm open for business. Thinking about it from the customer's perspective, why should I care about your 15-yard dumpster? Who gives a hoot? We need to put it in their terms. What are they trying? How do they benefit? They're benefiting by getting rid of all their junk. They're getting their garage cleaned out. They're getting less their stress, they're de-stressing, they're decluttering their lives. They're able to function in their own home. They're able to sell their home by cleaning up the house. They're able to, I mean, you're selling the experience of a dumpster is the end result that they're getting. What they're getting, if I'm saying this right, what they're getting is what they're left with. And when you haul away all this stuff, what they're left with is open space. It's a stress-free mind potentially. It's a project that's over. They remodeled their kitchen. You were a part of you played a small part in their project that was in a way that they had less to do. They didn't have to haul it to the dump. They didn't have to do all these different things. They simply were left with the experience of being able to visually see there's less stuff in my backyard. The house is cleaned up. Everything's put back together because all the stuff we don't need is gone. All those things. So when we're advertising to people and we're trying to catch their attention, we need to speak their language. And their language is not a 15-yard dumpster. What they're left with after seeing a 15-yard dumpster is nice big piece of metal. Okay, I don't care. Scroll. I like unless they're of course directly going if you're putting out any ads at all, if you're trying to sound the alarm for your business, why in the world would people care that you're just simply talking about how big the can is, how clean it is, how whatever it may be? They don't care. What they care about is what they're left with. Why would they want to do this? Why would they want to get a dumpster can? Because they're going to be able to have a free clear mind because they're upstairs, their basement is cleaned out, their basement flooded. You're able to help them in that like all these kind of things. Like we need to be speaking their language, and how often I've seen it and I've done it even recently because it's something we're thinking about us and our business and what we want. We want people to rent my 15-yard dumpster, rent my 10-yard, real fast 1 day rental for 10-yard, blah blah blah. Cool. Nobody cares. They're selfish like you are, like we're talking right now. I'm selfishly talking about my can when they're selfishly thinking about what their needs are. And if you aren't getting in the middle and addressing their needs, they no longer care. Like you're no longer anything. So for for us to be able to speak the customer's language, for us to be able to connect to them in a way where not only have you caught their attention, they've stopped scrolling, they've stopped whatever they're doing, but for them to think, oh my word, like they're missing out on a clean home. They're missing out on a stress-free environment. They're missing out on these things, or maybe the benefits of what they will have afterwards. Basically speaking in a way that they're going to be just mesmerized with what they're left with, and that's what they're really paying for, not the actual dumpster can. I think that's the second layer, or whatever layer of a situation that we just don't really think about because we're selfishly, excuse me, we're the ones who are thinking about ourselves. So, let's see. Nice new dumpsters, Daniel. Hey, thanks so much, man. I do appreciate it. We're gonna. There we go. Boom. You're out of here, friend. There we go. Yeah. Um, so, anyways, for whatever that's worth, I don't know if you've ever considered that as well, but um, like as similar to my channel here on YouTube, I've got some other YouTube channels as well about other topics. Just because I put out a video doesn't mean everybody cares. Either you're super invested in me and just really enjoy me and my content and my personality and you like me and whatever, you watch me just for that, regardless of whatever the title is, regardless if any of it's relevant to you, you like it at all, whatever. Or like you either do that or it's because you're getting something from that video. So, as ruthless as it may be, nobody cares about your dumpster, how big, how small, how quick, how fast, how whatever it may be. What they want is the end result. What does this dumpster bring me? And for them to have the light bulb go on in their mind to see, oh, if I get this dumpster, then that means I'm able to do all these projects. That means I'm able to get these things done, which leaves me with how they feel at the end. They're relieved. Oh, this project is finally done. I don't have to do 10 trips to the dump. I don't have to do all this back and forth, wasting your time, wasting your energy, all these things, paying somebody else to do it. I'm saving money. I'm saving time. I've got relief. I mean, you're selling that feeling, that emotion is what they're left with. And those are the things to actually capture their attention. That's the stuff we should be sharing about because everything else is really irrelevant. In the nicest way possible, nobody cares. Just like I don't have a million views on all of my videos. Nobody cares either about that topic or about me or whatever. Nobody owes me anything, and that's perfectly fine. Any video I put out there is either serving myself, serving the end viewer, the customer, whatever you want to say, or doing both at the same time. Who knows? Um, it's very black and white. As unfortunate as that may be sometimes. So yeah, just a challenge to you. Consider the next time you make a Facebook post on your business, or you put out a thing on your Google page, an update on your Google my business profile, whatever that or your website. Consider the end customer's feelings first before we go down a rabbit trail of whatever. The only reason people would care about the size is when price shopping. Yeah. Well, and ultimately, a 15-yard dump trailer, whatever, dumpster can in at least in my area is the biggest, I'm sorry, is the really, in my opinion, which is just my opinion, the best size for most residential homeowner projects. I always get on the phone. Hey, what are we doing? What are we talking? Uh, how many large pieces? Are we talking multiple couches? Are we talking a couple bedrooms worth of debris? So some mattresses, some dressers, a lot of clothes. Like as far as what's going into the dumpster, could we get a idea? 15 cubic yards seems to be the best fit for a project like that. And so even on the phone, just slowly, I'm trying to work myself on get better on the phone ultimately, but get to the point where I'm talking through these things with the customer with the end in mind of, okay, so you are in basically speaking to them, talking to them. So what you're trying to do is clean all this stuff out so you no longer have to deal with this problem. You're no longer, under the stress or, whatever, and talk it through over the phone to where they're agreeing and they're acknowledging the truth that this dumpster can is not just and we're kind of derailing a little bit, but um, it's not just about the size of the dumpster, but what it brings ultimately. So yeah, with the 15 yard, as far as the different sizing and pricing, there's definitely the price shoppers, of course. They've called me, and with short term rentals like I do, some people can make it happen in a day or two. Some people don't want to. They really are going from the bottom of the barrel, price wise, and good luck to you. Uh, but yeah, Chris, have you marketed any more junk removal jobs? Chris, so I have had, let's see, two or three other junk removal jobs. I didn't record the videos for them. They were small, very small. Um, but as far as marketing goes, no, I'm not directly saying, shouting from the rooftops. I do believe I have it on my website, like very, very minimally. Um, I decided I want to clean up my website and change some things up. I'm still by no means done, but I'm actively trying to think through. Somebody pulling up on their phone, probably pulling up my website and scrolling through, and what are they thinking, what's their highest priority, and what are the pieces of information they want to know best. So trying to work through that, that's where I'm at, just to be honest. So once I get the dumpster side of things kind of put together, I will eventually, right now I'm hiding the junk removal tab and everything. I will bring that back when I've got that piece together, how I want it to be. For me, still, junk removal will only be a part of the business. It won't be the main aspects of the business. So it will be a smaller detail that we do offer, but in a more limited way. Um, not one of the main deals. So that's just where I'm at with my business. Man, anybody else have any other thoughts? Any questions? Anything you want to share? Anything at all? I'm willing to talk through anything and everything. Just let me know. We got 6 people here, so yeah, share anything you want to. Ask away. I'll share away. Whatever you want to know. If any way I can help at all. Yeah. Let's see. What else can I share? Give me a little update as far as the year. Here we go. Let's see. I'm at 200 dumpsters for the year right now. Let's see. Let's go back here. Okay, let me see. Here we go, Chris. I have to limit roof jobs to 15 yards. Had a 20 yard with almost 8 tons. Oh dear. Yeah, Chris. So the largest one I'm willing to do, especially I do have the 20s now, but um, my largest one that I'll do are dump trailers, and really, excuse me, My main roofer that uses me, and there's a few other smaller roofers that have used me when they're in a pinch, kind of on a side thing. Um, the preferred is the 15. I do have two 17s available to me to rent out. So um, I've been able to use those as well. Obviously, just 2 feet longer as far as the dimensions goes on that. But yeah, I definitely understand. You really cannot afford to be, messing with those crazier, crazier weights, because a true loaded 20 yard. I still don't know about that actually, but or experienced that myself. I don't want to. So yeah, I'm with you. Of course, when you're getting the dumpster booked, what are you putting inside the dumpster? What is it used for? What are we doing here? Talking through that. But yeah, I can easily see any type of shingle. Um, what 3 tab? There's a few other kinds out there. Man, 8 tons, the 20 yard. That's serious. Oh man, Chris, if you don't mind me asking, for roofing jobs for the shingle, and all the weight, do you just prorate the entire weight, all the tonnage, or do you include everything in your one price? What you're guessing it will be if it's a 30 square, if it's a 22 square, how do you do that? Is it just the weigh ticket from the total weight, what you pay for dump fees, and you mark it up a little bit, doing that way of prorating, or do you just charge them up front for the dumpster rental plus crazier weight, type of a deal? How does that work for you, in your business? Um, what's your advertising strategy? So I have I have not really talked about that. Yes, weight ticket marked up a little bit. Okay, yeah, yeah, I'm with you. Yeah, what I normally do for my regular roofer, I'll create the invoice, of course, get the ticket started on DRS. I don't charge them up front because I know he's good for it. We've done, I don't know how many dumpsters together. I guess I could look it up, but yeah, so then I'll, including, he does a lot of locations further out. I will get back to the advertising strategy here in just a second, um but the fuel will of course be on there, through DRS, added up more and more, and then I'll get the weight ticket, and that's when I charge them just the one time, when everything is done. That's really the only customer that I really do that with, because I know he's good for it, and we've worked well for so very long, together. So yeah, so advertising, something I really haven't talked a whole lot about because again, I don't speak in absolutes. I'm not the guy who's going to say this is the way you do it, and it's going to be right because it's working for me. Different things work for different people, different areas. It's not one size fits all. I have done some Google ads. I have done a lot more Facebook ads. I've done a little bit of next door ads. I have done some even smaller types of advertising. One thing that, this is, if you're one of the 5 people here, then you're special because uh, I actually just started, and I'm willing to try just about anything once to see what happens, to see how things kind of play out. I actually have a radio ad going on, and this could be complete. It's a very minimal cost, for a radio ad, but I actually have some radio ads going on during the NASCAR races on what Sundays, I believe, and a few other days during the week, maybe. I have ads during the NASCAR races, and I have been getting calls on Sunday afternoons, Sunday evenings, or Monday saying, "Yeah, I just saw just last night, just yesterday, I went to your website," from these people who heard my ad on the radio. So I have not heard anybody on YouTube talking about radio ads. Maybe it can work in your area, maybe not. Here in Indiana, we definitely have people who are interested in racing in general. In my opinion, the type of person who's watching NASCAR races probably means they have a job, they're blue collar, they're hardworking, they're go out and getters probably, and that's my customer base I would want to be a part of. Maybe that's completely different where you're at. Maybe it wouldn't work for you. So that I'm not saying that's my whole strategy. Okay, uh, but I'm dabbling in some side smaller things just to see what happens. Because I just frankly just want to know. But to be honest, as of right now, I am doing mostly Facebook ads and then Google ads as well. So that's a lot less Google ads, but definitely, those are kind of my main two, and then I'm kind of experimenting kind of outside of that. So that's what I'm currently doing right now. Excuse me. As far as marketing goes, so yeah. Chris, hey, what did you use to build your website? So, Chris, I have my website hosted and built and run by DRS, so Dumpster Rental Systems. They it's a one stop shop. They do anything and everything. You can have some things customized. They're willing to. There's a lot of information out there about DRS, but Dumpster Rental Systems is who I use. I'm very happy with them. They're always trying to innovate new different tools, new little add-ons, new features, new different things, and I'm very happy with them. So I built my website. Just sharing with you, I built my website on a Wix website. Let me tell you, building your own website, it was so horrible and it was just horrible. It was terrible. I do not. If you don't know websites, if you don't know a lot about web editing, design, all that stuff, and ultimately, if you don't know what you want, don't try to build your own website. I'm telling you, it may be a million times cheaper. It may be the most logical choice, but I'm telling you, you will, in my opinion, you will absolutely regret it. It will not look right. It will not look professional. Probably, it will look so basic that you look like a scam. I'm pretty sure, dude. I had people call the phone number, and say, "Hey, is this a scam?" I'm like, "Well, wait a minute. You're asking like somebody who's running a scam is, of course, going to say no, it's not a scam." But they were sketched out by the website so much. They were like, I don't know about this. Um, it's in my opinion not worth it at all. Find somebody who can build you a website for it to be legit, whether that's DRS or somebody else. It would be my suggestion to go with DRS. I know right out of the gate, it's what 150 a month, $100 a year annual fee for hosting. What 3 and some change percent for credit card fees. It's a man. There definitely is customizable options for your website, which I'm in the process of doing. That's what I'm currently doing. Trying to get my website the way I want it, how I think customers would navigate through the website, so that I can be tracking with them where they're thinking, what they're wanting to know next. Um, but yeah, that's what I'm doing with DRS. Very happy with them. Any issues I've ever had, They've addressed everything. They've answered all my questions. The tech support on the phone is incredible. Um, just very, very professional. And every time I hang up the phone, whatever my problem was is fixed or will be fixed very, very soon. So, yeah. Well, if anybody else has anything to share, to ask, to chit chat about, we can keep going. If not, it's been an hour and 15 minutes. I'm willing to keep talking and chatting with you here. But if not, I may hop off. Just depends on what you're thinking, what you're wanting. Um, yeah, man, it's hot in this room. Oh dear. Let's see. Um, just again, briefly back to MVM logistics. Um, most of my oh, have you seen referrals start? No. Um, referrals for. Oh, you mean for business? I don't know if you're talking about DRS or not. I technically I think if you if you went with DRS and it was because of me, uh, you can share my name and I think I get credit for like a month or something. As far as a free month for me. But no, I finally connected the dots in your business. Yeah. So yes, I definitely have had referrals. My buddy so and so told me about you, and I've got to have you. Blah 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 blah. Referring you. Yeah. Yes, I definitely have. Honestly, I've even had the person who rented my dumpster told somebody else. That person did not rent from me, but then the third person was told. I did a little investigating and just without prying too much, I asked, "Who's your friend?" Oh, okay. The the third person actually rented from me because this middle person told him after they were told by this person. Like it was just crazy. So yes, I've definitely had referrals come in. People who I've people said, "Oh, there's so and so," and so I looked up their name, and I've never had a person by that name, but they said that's the person who told me about you guys. So I'm like, okay, well, they haven't used me, but they're referring me, so I'll take it. That's pretty neat. Pretty neat. Rub a dub dub. Hi Daniel. Not sure if this has been covered, but can you go over how you go about overages? You keep a card on file, but do you call them before, and how does the conversation go? That's a great question, man. So what I do when I talk to a customer on the phone, and anytime on the phone or in person, whatever, I will say, hey, really depending on the project. If it's just a house clean out, there's really no chance in the I've in 2+ years I have had maybe one or two customers, homeowners that went over 2 tons in a 15 in my 17. Like it just doesn't happen in my area. I don't know if I'm special or lucky or whatever. It does not happen. So what I normally tell people is included in this dumpster rental is up to 15 miles away from our location here in Lafayette. It also includes 2 tons, up to 2 tons, and up to however many days they're renting it for, whatever. Um, if you were to go over that tonnage included in the price, it would just be simply prorated. So I get charged $54 per ton at my transfer station. I charge the customer $70 per ton. So I tell them it would be prorated at $70 a ton after the first 2 tons. I generally will say if you're a hair above 2 tons, which also another doesn't really happen. I think it's the truth, but the goodwill that you're sharing with them. If you were to go like 2.1, 2.05, I'm not going to nickel and dime you. I don't do that here. Okay, I'm not here to play those games. But if it was significant enough, it would just be simply prorated at $70 a ton and charged to your card on file when I go dump the load. So you may see another updated invoice in your email, and that would be the reason why. If you don't, within the next 24 hours, then you didn't go over 2 tons. We don't have to call each other. Nothing has to happen, blah, blah, blah. And generally, they're like, cool, thanks. No problem at all. Boom. Don't care. We're good. Zero issues. There's been a few people who have been super duper nervous. They're like, well, I don't know how much this stuff weighs. And the truth is, we might have a better guess. But until everything's in one big pile, maybe in the dumpster, knowing what the materials are, nobody knows the total weight of that stuff. So that's why I just say the 2 tons are included. Like for my 10 yard, dude, my 10 yard cans, any residential job, we're talking point 0.3, point 0.4, maybe. People do not go over like point 0.6 in my 10 yard cans. They just don't. I include 1 ton with the 10 yard cans. Maybe 3 or 4 times in the last year, I've had to do overages. So I do have the card on file, and I just tell them before when we're booking the dumpster, processing the whole thing, it would be charged. It will be charged to the card on file, so they know preemptively it's going to happen, and that you will see they're basically being told it's going to happen without your knowledge, and you will see the updated email on your invoice in the email, and see it in your bank account, whatever the additional difference for that prorated. So many other businesses do this when there's extra things that account, that go together um, towards the bill, and so it's been no big deal at all for me. I hope that answered your question. But yeah, good question. Yeah, having the card on file is major, super important. Um, thank God for DRS. I'm not making a 500 phone calls and begging people and sending emails multiple times and just hoping and praying things happen. No, we're charging card on file. Boom, done. Game over. I've not had. I think so. I'll say this: there was one guy. He went way over 2 tons. Um, one of the few times it's ever happened on a 15, I think. Like 4 point whatever it was. I think there was some brick and other stuff in there. And so for something like that, I'm gonna call. So this is not for most customers. I don't think you really have to. You don't really need to. But when it was a significant amount of money for this one guy, I did call. I was like, hey, just want to let you know you're gonna see this process in your card. You went well over the 2 tons, and he already had a pretty good idea that that was going to happen. Just want to make sure you're aware of this. The bigger dollar amounts, ripping off the band-aid and just putting it out there. I think I did that just out of courtesy for a much larger dollar amount. But if it's 20, 40, $60, I'm not concerned at all, to be honest. Any problems with people hiding tires, wet paint? How do you go about dealing with that after you left the house and collected payment? Yeah, that's just going to be a quick phone call if they specifically did something they're not supposed to. And then again, an updated invoice with exactly what happened, probably pictures as well to confirm that. So if there was a dispute, boom, here's the line item for the charge, tires, getting charged for that, um, and a phone call. Um, and usually they're like, oh, man, like they're like, oh, I got caught. Like, well, You get what you get. I had one guy who recently, I think it was like 8 tires. No, it was 4 semi tires. It's another $120 for those big tires at my transfer station. Like, dude, what what were you thinking? um, Chris, I'm picking up a swap hog tomorrow to start my own rental company. I need as much help as I can get in the business. Hey, man, that is awesome to hear. Learn as much as you can, watch as many videos as you can of all the creators on here. Make sure you're in the Facebook groups, ask questions, use the search bar. There's lots of helpful people out there. Some people can be uh, maybe less than helpful, but there's definitely people willing to share what they've learned. But make sure you do your own research first as you're starting this up. And when you're thinking about your price model, your how you're going to position yourself in the market, how you're going to talk to your customers, what's your way of attack. Just slow things down. Think through how can you set yourself apart from other people? How can you separate yourself from the herd? Because there's probably many people near you, most likely. How can you do that in a way that fits your character, that fits your integrity, how you want to be known in your area, in your community, and yeah, good luck to you, man. If I can be of any help, just let me know. Is there a page on your site that you tell them what's allowed and not allowed and have them initial when booking? So that would be in the contract they have to sign. Going through that, what would be in there, and they do have to hit the button or initial or whatever it is on there for that to be verified. Put their name in or whatever. So that would definitely be on there. Lots of people don't want to help because they see it as a competition. I appreciate you taking the time to help. Yeah, man, absolutely, dude. So, I've got Waste Management, Republic, and then one large company that's more local, not as big as the other two, but um, those are the three big dogs. And then there's other companies, and I'm, of course, one of them. And then there's another guy. There's multiple other companies, but another guy that actually reached out to me because he actually recognized me in our transfer station, I guess, and then saw me from this channel. And so he called me and he was like, "Hey, man, I saw your YouTube channel. You want to get some lunch together? You want to, chit chat?" So my competition reached out to me, wanted to, work together, team up, help each other out, whatever. And so we've had lunch a number of times. He has pulled me out of ditches. He has saved my bacon several times. He's driven my truck for me. Excuse me. Man, he has done so much for me. Been a big help. Actually, we're probably going to get together tomorrow or Friday. Probably tomorrow. But essentially, we hello. I think my wife's at the door. I'll wrap it up here soon, honey. Uh huh. Okay. Sorry. So oh, the dogs are coming in, huh? Bella. You guys want to meet my dog Bella? Here's Bella. Bella the Brindle Boxer. Yes, yes. Mwah. Love you. She's a good one. She's a crazy dog, but we love her. All right. Okay. Well, so basically, my direct competition, my enemy, not my enemy. Um, The truth is, okay, we're we're having dog show and tell here. Hey, buddy. Hey, buddy. Come on. Come on. Come on. Yep. This is the dumpster dog. Maybe I should have him as like a mascot or something. Yeah. Mwah. Love you. All right. Wave to our friends. Wave to the friends. Okay. Go, 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 go. Bye-bye. So, anyways, yeah. In my opinion, um if you're paranoid or concerned, like you're kind of mentioning other people consider you like the competition, you're their enemy, they don't want to help you to give you a leg up. Like, first of all, competition is a good thing, not just for consumers, for the end customer, but it's good for you because it's challenging you to keep progressing, to keep fighting, to keep changing, innovating, being more efficient, giving better service. It's it's kind of a fire behind your rear, like in the best way possible. It only sharpens you, it only helps your customer. And those who fall off, those who forget this is how the game is played, they fall to the back of the line. So if you're the guy who's always trying to innovate, always trying to be changing, growing, navigating all this stuff, your competition should be the I'm in competition with myself. The truth is, unless you have like 10 people in your city, there's probably enough meat on the bone. If you're in a decent enough area, depending on your market, whatever. I'm not concerned about Waste Management Republic. Trash cans is local to me. Even my buddy or anybody else, not because I think I'm king of the world and I'm better than anybody else, but because I'm competing with myself year over year, day after day, treating my customers how I would want to be treated, absolutely going overboard as much as I can to make sure their needs are met, to where I get all the crazy 5-star reviews that I have. I think I'm at 50. I only have, besides for a few people who have tried to um, sabotage me. Um, let's see. I'll pull it up on my phone right now. Helper Dumpster Rentals. How many do I have? Let's see. Oh, it's probably backwards for you. Oh, hold on. There we go. I have 56 5-star reviews, nothing less than 5-star reviews. By the end of this year, I'm going to have more reviews than anybody else in my area, and I will maintain my 5-star, my 5.0 rating. It's going to happen. And it's going to happen because I'm going to continue the services I'm providing. I'm going to continue building and innovating and doing anything I possibly can in adjusting my business model to fit where I'm at now and these different things. So, for you and your business, it's the boogeyman of competition. Um, I'm much more concerned about dropping off the high expectations I have for myself and what my customers already know to expect out of me. And I'm just not going to drop off. And so, with that in mind, I'm only going to rise to the top. It might not be a matter of, or I'll say this, it's not a matter of if, but when I rise to the top, when I keep building and growing to measure my growth as a business. Um, it's just a time game. How quickly am I going to get there? Because I'm not going to be the dude who just completely falls off the map and doesn't care, forgets who my customer is, forgets about their needs, all those things. So yeah, I'll shut up about that. Um, don't forget people to spam that thumbs up button. Thanks, Daniel, for your insight. Hey, man, happy to help. Absolutely, absolutely. Cool. Looks like that's about everything. Did I miss anything? People don't want to help because they see it as a competition. Yep, already read that. Yeah, I'm gonna hop off here, guys. Thank you for hopping on here with me. I'm probably gonna start doing this a little bit more often if I can breathe. I do appreciate you being here with me. Yeah, we'll see how it goes, and maybe I'll do this more regularly on a weekday, and go forward. So, yeah, have a great rest of the week, guys. Um, Turn those cans, make it happen. God bless, guys. See you.